If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
But at the end of the day, at some point, you're going to have to line up and win your matchup. And I think that's what we did well, is be able to, per guy, match up on a tight end, match up on Mike Evans, and win those matchups. And when you do, and you make them sit and go through one read to the next, you give your defensive line some time to be able to get to them. And so that when we talk about pass defense, that's the ultimate team defensive stat, because it's a combination of coverage and rush.
And, once you really learn Tom Brady, he puts so much work in. He has so much preparation. Even in the offseason, getting the roster that he builds around him, he gets players that fit his style. Right. He's been able to play with Gronkowski for forever. That connection will always be there. He's got Mike Evans now.
Well, wait a second. Go backwards. So you're playing catch with them, because I've heard this about Brady, that he'll be on vacation with people or somebody will be over for the weekend or whatever. And he basically just eventually sees anybody who seems relatively athletic as somebody who could catch footballs for him for an hour, and leverages the whole, I'm famous, of course they'll want to play catch with me. And you go into it thinking, oh, cool, we're going to throw the football. But it becomes an actual workout for him. Because I've heard all these stories about people who had no idea, like they brought like tennis sneakers and all of a sudden they're running 25-yard outs because Brady needs a workout.
First of all, I wasn't even on vacation with him. I happened to be at the same place, and he knew I was there. He goes, oh, you're coming down. Let's have lunch or something. And I thought, oh gosh, maybe I'll get to see Tom. That would be great, And then he calls me up. He goes, yeah, G's not a great receiver. She's gotten a little tired of catching balls for me. So you're around. You want to catch some balls? To me, I think this is like a guy who's going, should I make someone's dreams come true today? Yeah, heck with it. I'll change someone's life. Hey, you want to catch my footballs? Because it is like one of the most memorable days of my life.
Yeah, you think he just wants to keep his arm loose. Like, you don't know it's an actual workout for him.
It's definitely a workout, and he uses it as a workout, and he works you out, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to work out harder than I have in 25 years, and I'm going to pretend that it's something that I'm accustomed to and that I can tolerate it, even though I'm sure it's evident that I can't. And I'm sure, what I'm really sure of is that when he sends me 35 yards out, he has to wait the amount of time he normally waits for a guy to run 90 yards.
Right.
So he's doing the calculus in his head of like, no, not yet. But he still, nonetheless, is able to calculate for like an extremely slow middle-aged man's pace, running as fast as he can and turning around and thinking he's in the NFL and probably running the route totally wrong, and have no idea. And nonetheless, you run where he tells you to go, you turn around, and the second you turn around, and that's what's amazing. And yeah, he's working out, he's using it as a workout, but he can use me every day like that. I mean, it's a joy.
Well, he does it with his kids too. So I'm sure it doesn't even matter how fast you're going. That's probably part of the challenge for him. Is like, because you see there's videos of him with like his two boys, and they're taking turns, and so a 12-year-old, he's got to calibrate it a certain way. And probably weirdly helps him.
If you can't cover early in the down, then the ball comes out quick. It's in the receiver's hands, and the D line is completely ineffective.
Throughout my career, I've been able to, play against Tom Brady, but I've been able to get to know him off the field as well. And there's really no reason to not like Tom Brady other than he wins football games. He does everything right. He's such a role model. He's such a great guy. Like I said, I've got to spend time with him off the field, and it's really not a reason to not like Tom Brady other than he's winning championships. And that's not a good reason not to like somebody because they're winning. But Tom Brady, he does everything absolutely right.
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing how obsessed he is with football. Like at some point, and I don't know what year it was, he decided to just construct every choice he made in his life around being as good as he possibly could at football. I guess the only actor who you've maybe read was kind of like that was Daniel Day-Lewis, right? When he would do a part, he would just completely immerse himself into it in every aspect for like 2 years.
Daniel, the stories I've heard kind of line up with that. The change to me, because I met Tom maybe at the White House Correspondents' Dinner or something maybe after the first, I knew who he was. It was after the season when he replaced Bledsoe. And that was it. That had happened. He was like the star, and I met him, and I was like, oh my God, you're the king of Boston. This is a really young kid. He was 4 years younger than me. And I was like, hey, kid, not really, but like I could sense that he was young. He was youthful. And he was like, oh no, he's very humble and self-effacing, but he was a different person. He didn't have that thing that you see in him now. He definitely had that sort of, here I am, I'm going to do my best. Oh shucks, hey, I'm trying. And then he won some, and then he went on, I think, a 10-year drought. Yep. We call it drought, for those of us who, like as if, most of us, our whole life is a Super Bowl drought. But,
Cleveland's like, you.
Yeah. It's and then I remember talking to him at some point during that time, and I detected there was like a change where he kind of, he was thinking a lot about it. It had become more meaningful to him. He didn't like the feeling. He took it, and I think some people would go, hey, I won some, I got a good contract. And he found, I think, that was the thing that really drove him. He loved that feeling and wanted it. And I remember saying, people just don't understand how hard it is. People don't understand what it takes. People don't understand the level of commitment it takes to do this, to win it. It's hard to get. And I thought like, more kind of, sport. Oh, it's hard. It's, like the usual sort of things you hear. And I ran into him again, and he said something similar. And I remember thinking, this is a really different guy. This is a guy who's really, I don't know, pissed off, but like really serious about this and not fucking around at all. And that then seemed to be reflected, in terms of what I saw, which was a lot of what people saw, in talking about his training, his regimen, his approach, his, sleep, I think he made a decision at some point, like, I want to do the absolute best I can, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to dedicate all of myself, every part of myself, because this is what I'm not going to sell myself short. I'm not going to give myself the off day. I'm not going to cut myself a break. I'm not by being overly serious, but by just somehow he had a level of commitment to it that changed. I think he may have surprised himself by what happened the first time he won. Yeah. And then I think he decided, like, I can do this. I want to do it. And I have something to prove. I don't know what that was.
You don't want to try to get Tom Brady with a blitz. You got to win with a 4-man rush and win in early in the down in coverage. And again, that takes the entire defense to beat one player.
Will Tom Brady know your name if he sees you?
Come on, man. Are you kidding me? You don't think me and Tom, we're from the same area. We've talked. Okay. Tom knows me.
Okay, I'm just curious.
No, man. See now, you act as if I just call games on radio for the Rams, and then I work for the NFL Network as if we weren't peers. There's a story. One time I was working at the NFL. They were playing the Giants, and Tom looked me in my eyes, and he said, "Maurice, how have you been?" And I looked at Tom like, "Hey, man, how you been?" And you want to hear a funny story about it? You want to know why Tom knows me more than anything? Tom's uncle, Chris, was my principal in high school. So Tom really knows me. Me and Tom are kind of like that. We're kind of closer than you would think.
No,
we got family ties.
My apologies.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you know. And then all the football stuff, he gonna know me regardless. But we got family ties. It's different.
We had Justin Forsett on, and he said he went to Cal, and Aaron Rodgers took him under his wing, and Aaron Rodgers was an older guy, and said, "Hey, I'm going to show you the way." Does Brady do that to a guy who's coming in? Did Brady say, "Hey, I'm going to go out of my way," or is it one of those deals where Tom Brady's up here, you got to earn the respect to him to make eye contact in the locker room?
I think there's a little bit of both. I mean, I think he's been around the game for a long time, and if you want to play on that team and you want to get on the field, you got to produce and play well. So that was my main focus, was going in there. Kind of proving to those guys that I can play, and during camp and during that, the preseason, kind of earning that respect that, from Tom and from all the other guys. And
what'd you say to him right after he dropped it? Because you were right next to him.
Oh yeah, I just said, "Come on, Tom, you got to catch that." I know he expected. I know it was a big moment, and we were all holding our breath because he was wide open. It was a well-timed trick play, and when he dropped it, I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get in his head. I'm just smacking him on his butt real hard and say, "Hey, come on, Tom. Got to catch that." He didn't flinch, though. Then obviously went on to throw for almost 500 yards or whatever it was. So I doubt I had any effect on his psyche that day. But
do you ever bring it up with him over these past couple of years?
No, I gotta play him twice a year. I'm not trying to make the GOAT. He doesn't need any more motivation to play us. Trust me.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.